Hello and welcome to Frontrunner Motorsport, episode 50 of One Race Wonders, a series where we look at the drivers and teams who have competed in a Formula One race. To be a One Race Wonder, you have to have entered, qualified and started one Formula One race, and only one. You'll be surprised at how many One Race Wonders there have been in Formula One's history. 50 episodes and we haven't even scratched the surface. Much rarer in the modern era, we have looked at drivers from every age of Formula One, from the 1950s with drivers such as Ernst de Loof and Bud Tingelstad, to the latest One Race Wonders such as Andre Lotterer and Jack Aitken. For episode 50, I have been saving a special man who was a One Race Wonder, but is related to one of the greatest Formula One drivers of all time, the older brother of three-time champion Sir Jackie Stewart. It's Jimmy Stewart. So subscribe for more motorsport and check out the One Race Wonder playlist. And let's look at the life and career of One Race Wonder, Jimmy Stewart. Jimmy Stewart was born in Scotland 8 years before his brother Jackie. He also worked at the family garage and dealership and began his racing career in the early 50s in hill climbing. His racing career would prove to be exceptionally short and heavily disrupted by big crashes and injuries. After some good performances in a Healy Silverstone in hill climbs, he was hired by the famous Scottish Ecurie Ecosse team to race a Jaguar C-Type. Jimmy Stewart was very successful in Britain in 1953, winning races in the Jaguar all over the country. He also finished 6th alongside Jock Lawrence in the 1953 1,000 kilometres of the Nürburgring, 3 laps behind the winning Ferrari 375mm, driven by Formula One champions Alberto Ascari and Nino Farina. It was with Ecurie Ecosse that Jimmy Stewart would become a One Race Wonder. Ecurie Ecosse entered only a few Formula One races. Team owner David Murray raced in the British Grand Prix in 1952, whilst Leslie Thorne would make their final appearance in 1954. In between, they entered 2 cars in the 1953 British Grand Prix, for Jimmy Stewart and Ian Stewart, no relation. Jimmy was racing in a Cooper Bristol, whilst Ian was given a Connaught with a Lee Francis engine. Jimmy qualified 15th on the grid, 6 seconds faster than his teammates. He went a long way into the race, but spun out towards the end, maybe because of a rain shower, maybe not. It's hard to tell when there isn't any footage or a lot of information of any kind. Had he finished the race, he was almost certainly guaranteed a top 10 finish. Not bad for someone who'd only been racing for a couple of years. Sadly, as an Ecurie Ecosse driver, there would be no more Formula One entries, and in fact, his motorsport career was almost up. With no more successes in 1953, 1954 started with a retirement alongside Ian Stewart in the 1,000 kilometres of Buenos Aires. He took a few podiums and wins in England, but was horribly injured in a crash at Le Mans. His one attempt at the famous 24-hour race is often accredited to Ian Stewart, but it was indeed Jimmy Stewart who was racing the Aston Martin DB3S alongside Graham Whitehead. Stewart made contact with the Talbot of Pierre Merat, burying the Frenchman in a hedge and launching Jimmy Stewart clear of his car. He was lucky to escape with just a broken arm, but the Aston Martin was completely written off. And due to his injuries, Jimmy Stewart would do no more racing in 1954. He returned in 1955 and was all set to be paired with Mike Hawthorn at that year's Le Mans race, but a crash in a Jaguar C-Type at the Nürburgring, which re-broke his arm, meant he was advised not to race and Jimmy Stewart's racing career was over. Mike Hawthorn went on to win Le Mans that year alongside Ivor Bube in a Jaguar D-Type. In 4.5 years, he was a successful hill climber who started winning in sports cars, got to race in Formula One and at Le Mans before 2 massive crashes meant he had to retire due to injuries. A busy 4.5 years indeed, with plenty accomplished in such a short space of time, but his involvement in motorsport wasn't over yet. He had a big part to play in the future of his younger brother. Jimmy returned to his family business, selling Jaguars and not breaking his arms. A few years after he finished racing, he was involved in a test session in an Aston Martin alongside his younger brother Jackie, who was able to take a few seconds off his time. It was through Jimmy that Jackie would make his first links with Ken Tyrrell, that would end with 3 Formula One championships and considered one of the best of all time. Supported all the way by older brother Jimmy. Jimmy Stewart battled issues with alcoholism, and after moving to America and then back again, he ran his own dealerships here and there, and sadly he passed away in 2008 at the age of 76. After years of working with anti-alcohol charities and supporting his brother, I think it's best to quote Jackie Stewart's autobiography here. I owe him almost everything because when I was a youngster struggling at school with dyslexia, the world seemed an extremely dark place. I found my real salvation in motor racing, and I found it because in my difficult time of need and confusion, it was my elder brother who carried the torch and selflessly showed me the way. It was almost as if Jim was beckoning me to join him on a magic carpet ride, carrying me out of the wilderness at school into the exciting, glamorous, colourful world of motor racing. So that was the very short career of Jimmy Stewart and his single Grand Prix appearance. His importance to the world of motorsport goes beyond what he did in a car. This was episode 50 of One Race Wonders, but don't worry, there are plenty more to come. There were a few mentioned in this episode. Leslie Thorne, Ian Stewart and Graham Whitehead were all Grand Prix One Race Wonders, and their time will come. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, leave your thoughts in the comments below, check out the One Race Wonder playlist with all 50 episodes. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good one.